Hi and welcome to the first and only edition of OJMC podcast. Today we're going to talk about a very special subject, but before we start, I would like to introduce my guests and the hosts. I start with...
Hi, I'm Samuels and I'm 17 and I come from Latvia.
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm 21 and I'm from Germany.
Hi, I'm Mats. I'm 17 and I come from Norway.
And I'm Lennart. I'm 20 and I'm also from Germany.
And I'm Jenny. I'm 36 and I'm from Germany, Hamburg. And with me I also have Björn, who will most likely not say anything, but if he wants to, he's free to do. So today we're going to talk about life. Life out of space, life in general, what's the meaning of life, and is there death? No. Is there life after death? So, what do you think of life? What's your first thought when you think about life? The meaning of life, for example.
Can I say something? I loved how you said, is there death? Is there even death? That's a great start.
Yeah. What do you think? What happens after death?
Nothing.
I think something must happen. It can't just go dark. That would be too weird, I think. Well, do you believe in afterlife? Any of you?
I think that you will be reborn, but without your knowledge of the previous life. There's just you die and you open the eyes as a baby. Just like continuity.
What do you think of Rückführungen? You know, when you're meditating and there are some people who help you to remember stuff from your former life. Do you believe in that? What do you think about that?
Oh, I just think that has something to do with the, deja vu. Maybe you experience something you have experienced in your past life over again.
What about the others?
I personally do not believe in that kind of stuff. I believe that there might be people that can do it convincingly, and if you are there, they will really have an experience for you, and you will experience something and remember something for real, but they are just good with what they're doing, and it's not really something you remember from your past life, but just smart psychiatry. Psychology, not psychiatry, that's something else.
So you don't believe in an afterlife? So
no, I do not. I believe everything scientists found out so far, and I believe our brain is just biomass, and if we die it will stop working and there's nothing after it.
So what do the others think?
I would say, I don't believe in the stuff where you relive past lives, but I think that something will happen because we still haven't explored everything, and there's so much possibilities in the universe, certain elements and stuff we don't know yet about, and there could be a soul and we just don't know it yet.
Do you think there is a soul? Or is that something humans created? Or is there really a soul?
I think it's made up.
Why?
Because it doesn't really make sense to me.
Why doesn't it make sense?
What is a soul, even?
Good
I
question.
can't answer. I'm asking you, what is a soul? What do you
that's
think
right.
is a
I don't
soul?
know. I don't know.
It's hard to say because it's just a construct of thoughts that could exist, and since we can't prove it yet, but we can't deny it either, it's hard to say what a soul is. For me, a soul is just the spirit of your living.
Yeah.
What do you think is the soul when people are talking about soul?
I believe when people talk about it, they might have like a religious idea of it, and I believe most people actually think that soul is kind of your brain, basically. So if you die, it won't go black. Basically, your brain function, your consciousness will live on in the way. In the form of your soul, and it will leave your body and go somewhere else, maybe in another living being, or to heaven, or whatever you believe in. And it's basically your consciousness for a lot of people, I believe.
Mm. Yeah.
Someone would like to add something?
Yeah, I think soul is a very, very abstract thing. So everyone who hears the word soul, they think of very different things. And I think it's really, really hard to make one definition of it. So, because yes, like Leonard said, some people think about it in a religious way, some people think it's brain, some people think it's your emotions, it's your personality, so can't really define it.
Mm-hmm. So, close to that, what do you think is the meaning of life for each one of you?
The meaning of life for me is to keep learning and to keep getting more knowledge, because there's so much knowledge in the world that no one can possibly know everything, but you can constantly learn something new in life every single day, and that's like the point of life for me.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think the meaning of life is having as much fun as possible, doing a lot, like trying to do everything, and what was I going to say? Just feel as much as possible, maybe.
Okay, in my opinion, the meaning of life is 42.
Would you like to explain that to the listeners who don't know what it is?
Yeah, there's a novel out there from Douglas Adams, A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the novel is about a supercomputer that figured out the meaning of life, and it said the meaning of life is 42, and we just haven't figured out the question. So we know the meaning of life is 42. We just need to find out what the question is that the answer to is 42, and then we will have everything figured out.
And to put everything together, what you guys said, I think the meaning of life is to live and to search for your meaning of life. Like, it's an abstract thing again, so it's different for everybody.
Yeah, the meaning of life is living.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
you can define yourself what you want to do and what you want your meaning of life to be.
That's true. Do you have something to add to that?
Nope, I totally agree to it.
So if people don't find their meaning of life, what do you think is missing for them?
It could have like certain reasons, like a bad childhood, like that developed in traumas or something worse, so that they couldn't live their life how they want to be because they're scared of certain things and can't live their life to deep desires.
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's okay to not be sure about the meaning of life. We all have been there, we all sometimes are there, and it's totally fine. And if you're feeling like that, you just need to seek help maybe, and not be there alone, because that's the worst part of it.
That's very, very true. Do you have something to add to that?
No.
Okay, now
Not really. No.
we have talked about life and life on Earth. So let's look at the universe. So humans always pretend that we are alone. Some do think we are not alone. So what do you think? Do you think there's life outside of our planet?
Yeah, I think there's no way we are alone, because there are like billions of stars and planets and solar systems, and like there must be someone else out there. And I'm just curious if they are like us or like completely different. They're like our technology and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sometimes think it's like a really small chance that life developed on this planet. Like from what we know, it's just it was on the bottom of the ocean, and some microorganisms bashed together, or not microorganisms but atoms, and somehow we were created in that process. And how likely is it that something similar happened on another planet? Like I sometimes think it could be so awesome if we were the only life form in the whole universe, and then we will just kill ourselves because we had the greenhouse effect, and then we just fucked up a whole thing that's only once there in the whole universe.
We had one job, right?
Yeah, we had one job, guys.
But listen, it's a big possibility of something like what happened on Earth happened on another planet, because the universe is
big.
Yeah, it's
enormous.
big.
Endless.
Exactly. So there is a chance of that.
Yeah.
So I see living as like us living on Earth as a lottery. We won the lottery and can be humans. And we all know that more people than just one win the lottery, because it's endless. There could be even a second planet that's like nearly the same as the Earth. So I think the chances are really high there's another living organism in space.
Yeah. So if there are two positions. The ones that think it's very unclear if there's another life form, and maybe even it's not possible because it wasn't even we developed by chance, by accident. And the other position says no, it's very likely that there could be more life. So how do you convince each other that you're right?
I'm not right and I'm not wrong. I'm just doing philosophy here. I don't have one opinion of life not after, but out of planet Earth. I don't really. Not interested in those kind of things. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But why do we need to know that? Do we need to know that?
Well, not really.
But wouldn't it be interesting?
Yes, it would.
So unless my point that I have is scientifically or historically proven, I don't try to force it on other people.
That's a good philosophy in life overall.
So in case there is life outside of our solar system, so what do you think this life form would look like, or what do you wish it to be?
I wish there was one civilization that like traveled to other planets and maybe once will come to visit us, but it may be a little unlikely since we don't even have an idea if we will ever be able to leave the solar system without dying. But I really hope there is life out there that can do that, and I hope we'll be we'll be able to do that one day.
That would be awesome, right?
I would be scared because we know for a fact that having different like how you look, like we had the racism is still a big thing just because you have a different skin color. How would it be for someone to be another species? Like it would just be it wouldn't be good, because we still can't get basic human rights in our head, like some people, how would it be with another living form?
Yeah.
But maybe they are stronger than us and bigger than us.
So they're all just gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Then there would be another reason to be discriminating against them, because the people are scared. They want them to be gone. They don't want them here. There's gonna be movement to close Earth. Yeah.
So in case someday another life form will visit us, how would you react?
Hide.
I would be really.
But we assume that they are nice and they just want to get to know the planet and get to know us.
If I can communicate with them via, like, maybe they have better technology and they have something that translates everything, I would spend a day with them and show them, like, some stuff.
Lübeck.
I would show them Lübeck, but
Yeah.
I would be surprised in the first few minutes, just because it's something new that I don't know, I never knew, but I would try to be as nice as possible.
Yeah, me too.
The first thing I would do if another life form comes to visit us is go to our scientists and try to work out how they communicate and if we are able to communicate with them. Else I wouldn't be able to show them around this planet. And after that I'll try to give them all kind of drugs and see if they have an effect on them. maybe we all can try alcohol and have a big party with the people from outer space.
And exchange musical tastes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
alcohol.
exactly.
And drugs.
I want to see their art.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna watch the news and see how your guys doing.
Maybe there's a museum for you, Samuel.
Oh
that
yeah,
you can
could be
go
great.
to.
Or maybe an alien can join you in a museum and you can check out art.
Yeah, and I wonder if there is aliens, they have like music, art, and all these things that we have in like their own way, or if they have something completely different. That would be fun.
So if we go even more steps back to the Big Bang, what do you think? What did the Big Bang was caused by? What was before it?
God.
God?
Yeah, Kanye West, exactly. No, there is a theory that basically the universe is always expanding and then shrinking again, and when it is shrunken to the maximum, that will cause another explosion and then the universe will expand again. Like, that kind of makes sense for me. Because right now the universe is expanding and someday it will stop expanding and shrink again, and after that we'll have another Big Bang, and this is how stuff works. Because where should the Big Bang come from if there's nothing out there? Like, if after our universe there is nothing, where should the universe should have come from? I believe the universe was always there and it's just expanding and shrinking again, and yeah, that's my theory about it.
But if it is shrinking, collapsing,
Yeah.
what is behind it?
And nothing.
What is nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah,
Explain it to me.
you can't describe nothing. It's just the
but you
human.
see-
Yeah, I know, it's just a record label.
Why should we have a word for nothing? If there is a word for nothing, then nothing is something.
Oh,
Yeah, nothing is
damn.
something.
You
That's
just
so philosophical.
the Matrix just glitched, I believe.
What is your opinion? What do you think of the Big Bang? Why did it happen? Is there something bigger out there? Is there something spiritual, or is it just science?
I think it has something to do with matter and antimatter. I heard it once, I think, but I'm not sure. Maybe space was before just matter and antimatter, and one day there was more matter, so it collided with the antimatter and boom.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I have no idea what are you talking about, but okay.
But I find it so interesting that these days scientists are going so fast. Like 50 years ago, we wouldn't have known shit about this, and 100 years ago we would have known even less. And I think like the pace science is moving, we probably could have some really interesting theories in the next years. Like we could get closer to the explanation where the universe comes from and stuff. So that's really interesting, I believe.
Maybe it's all just a part of the wheat lobby.
Oh yeah. Before the universe there was wheat.
We are talking about bread.
Yeah, here at the OJMC we had a workshop about conspiracy theories, and the guy who held the workshop told us about his fake conspiracy theory, which was about the wheat or wheat, I don't know how to pronounce it, lobby trying to feed us bread and it makes us tired and not want to be politically involved.
It's not a theory.
I think so too.
Statement.
Stay awake, don't
I'm
eat
eating
bread.
here
Go
all the time.
gluten-free,
And I'm starting to
guys.
feel more tired and tired. I think it's not a theory. Yeah.
Don't forget to watch our live presentation tomorrow on TV and on the radio.
Okay, now after we had some deep talk about the meaning of life and the universe and how everything started, I would like to get back to the meaning of life and comparing it to the Big Bang and how everything is put in perspective and how people have some serious meaning for their lives. Don't you think everyone should just do what they would like to do instead of being so serious?
No. So it sounded like you don't need any rules on Earth.
As long as you don't hurt anybody, I meant,
Okay.
of course.
Don't hurt anybody
And-
mentally and physically.
Absolutely. And
so
yourself.
that's a very already frame for the society. So you said we can do whatever we want to, but there is a frame for that. So that's again a big question about where are the frames for doing what you want to.
So I think as long as you don't harm another living being, you should be free to do whatever you want. But we need rules because otherwise the world would fall into chaos.
Yeah, well, everyone should be able to do what they want. Just don't hurt anybody, as you guys have said. And we need like some rules, some order, or there will just be chaos. And we can't live in chaos, so...
Yeah, we need a government and like really worked out rules, because otherwise, if the rules only were don't hurt other people, we would still live in stone cages and hunt animals. But now we have rules that you have to, I don't know, you have to pay taxes, and without taxes there wouldn't be roads, and without roads there wouldn't be global transport, and without global transport we wouldn't have microphones from China, and without that we wouldn't be able to record this podcast, but instead just sit in our caves and, I don't know, eat rabbit.
But listen, were there chaos in Stone Age? Because there weren't really any rules, but there weren't really chaos either. How did that work?
But there were so few people and animals, I think. Now we are so many, because we are gone like thousands of years with like populating ourselves, and so it's harder to live in order without rules now than before.
But would you please define chaos?
No, I can't, because it's a word just like nothing. That's again a word that exists but doesn't really have a definition that everyone can understand.
But don't we live in chaos?
Maybe we do, because in some point of our lives we all have chaos in our head. So maybe we all live in chaos at some point. I'm just asking you all questions, I'm not answering them.
Okay, but let me ask you another question. Do you think that people that believe in life after a second life after this life, do they live a different life than people who don't believe in that? Because they say like, okay, I can just live this life as I want because I have other lives to do it better.
I don't think that's how it works, because for me, like, you don't have your knowledge of the previous lives, so you wouldn't live, you wouldn't do like, this life I'm gonna be a drug addict, a murderer, I'm gonna take whatever I want. In my next life I'm gonna be a good child, go to church every Sunday, pray 6 times a day and so on. Because you don't regain your memory, you would live every life the best you could, in my opinion.
Don't you agree with him to live the best life you can?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and another question.
Yeah.
What's the best life you can live? How can you define that?
I don't think you can. It's just varies from person to person.
I believe if you have the most endorphins in your brain at the end of your life, you probably had the best life.
At the end of your life or through your life?
Throughout your whole life. When combined, you had the most endorphins of all people in the world, you probably had the single best life.
I always think about if I'm an old lady and I think of, would I regret if I don't do that? You know, later on, sometimes you look back into your past and think, oh, I should have done that. So I always think of how I would think as an old lady.
Yeah, I think it's better to regret something you did, not something you didn't do.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
I totally agree to that.
Yeah, me too.
+1.
So, we are coming to an end. Thank you all for a very interesting first and last edition of OJMC Podcast 2021. Thank you all, and I hope you will have a wonderful day and a wonderful life.